Hey guys, this is Bhavya Sharma here, and welcome back to the Med Concepts with Bhavya. I'm not using my mic and I'm not using a proper setup to shoot this video because I'm out of time now. This was the introduction video for the video that you're gonna watch now, but it got deleted by mistake and I couldn't restore it. So, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about the basics of anatomy. Many of you have asked me in the comment sections below about how to study anatomy, what to study in anatomy, what is the process of studying, what to use and what not to use, etc. So, in this video, I would be answering all of your questions. So, just let's get into the main content of the video. In this video, we are going to talk about anatomy, how to study anatomy, and we are going to go thoroughly through these points, which are the books to use, the sequence of learning, bones, about bones and practicals, etc. So you can add here and practicals. Okay, so we will talk about bones and how to study for your practicals and where you will get the bones available or where you can buy the bones. Then we will talk about other resources that you can use and some extra tips from my behalf to you guys for making anatomy learning easy. So let's get started. So the very first thing that we would talk about is the books to use. Okay, let me use another marker over here. So the books to use that I may suggest you is the BD Chaurasia. Okay, so we will use BD Chaurasia. This is my recommendation personally to you. You can go through BD Chaurasia. It is an excellent book. It helped me a lot in my first years and it was easy to understand. I make all my lecture videos from that book and also I make all the notes, and I used to make all my notes for my first years and for my exams with the help of this book. Another book that I used for diagrams specifically, because the diagrams were easier in that book, is the T.S. Ranganathan book. Okay, I'll show you the books. I have it with me. I'll show you the books after some time. These are the two books that I use. Then I use one dictionary, which is the Dolan's Dictionary. Don't worry, I'll be showing all the pictures to you and I will also add up the link inside the video description for where to buy these books. Okay, so Dolan's Dictionary. This is not only helpful in the first year, it is very helpful throughout your medical career, even after you become doctors or paramedics or whatever. Okay, so BD Chaurasia, T.S. Ranganathan and Dolan's Dictionary. Now let me show you those books first and then we will talk about BD Chaurasia and we will also talk about the next thing, that is the sequence of learning. So the book that I am talking about here is the BD Chaurasia, which is this one. If you can see, this is the BD Chaurasia. This is the volume 1 and we have 4 volumes in total. Now when we have talked about this one, we have T.S. Ranganathan, which is this book over here, the textbook of human anatomy by T.S. Ranganathan. This book is very easy and simple in reading as well, but I mostly use this for diagrammatic things. So I used it for learning diagrams. Okay, and sometimes I also used it for learning some complex topics from this book rather than from BD Chaurasia, because BD Chaurasia has complex teaching way and this had a simpler one. But overall, if you want to buy only one book and you don't have budget to buy 2 books, then you should buy volume 1. Then we have the dictionary, as I told you. This is the Dolan's Dictionary. This is the 29th edition and I bought it in 2018. So now it is 2021. So you can buy the newer edition and this is very good. It has pictures like these. You have pictures like these which are labeled very beautifully, and this is a very good dictionary and it has all the medical concepts and it has meanings of all the medical concepts, so it will be very handy to you in and throughout your career. Okay, so these are about the books. Now let's talk about BD Chaurasia. One more thing that I want to tell you is, today what I am telling you and the suggestions that I'm giving you is totally based on BD Chaurasia. I used BD Chaurasia and I am taking BD Chaurasia as the book of reference for telling you the tips and tricks to study anatomy. So if you have another books also, it is fine, but I have BD Chaurasia, so I am gonna tell you with BD Chaurasia. So let's talk about BD Chaurasia and the contents. So now we are done with the books to use. Okay, so we are done with this. Now we will talk about the sequence of learning. Let's now come this side to BD Chaurasia. First, let me tell you how many volumes you would have in BD Chaurasia. Okay, so when you talk about BD Chaurasia, you have 4 volumes in total. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 and Volume 4. In this one, you have upper limb and thorax. In this, you have lower limb. I'll mark limb as L. Limb and abdomen. ABD is abdomen and pelvis. In volume 3, you have your head and neck. Okay. And in volume 4, you have neuro anatomy, that is the brain anatomy. So these are the 4 things that you will see. Now let us talk about, I will give you the example of one book, that is the upper limb, and I will tell you the sequence of learning and how you can learn. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the upper limb. These are the contents that you will see in the upper limb. So mostly what you will have in the upper limb is your bones, then you will have muscles, joints, nerves, vessels, spaces, plexus and clinical anatomy. So there was one of the comments asking for a question. A student asked me one question, that is, ma'am, shall I read all these structures of upper limb and lower limb together, or shall I study all these structures for upper limb first and then go for lower limb? What should I do? My answer to your question is go for upper limb first. Go book by book. It would be very easy if you go book by book. Now talking about the sequence, how can you study and remember properly? I think would be better is to read anatomy before, to read the bone anatomy before. Why do I say that? Because from my past experiences and from the experience of teaching now, I have understood and I have come to a point that if I know the bones well, I would know the remaining things very well and I would not need to mug up unlike other people. Understand? So first always go through osteology. Okay? Go through the bones, go through the parts of the bones, go through the clinical anatomy of the bones, go through the attachments on the bone. Bones should always be the first. This is the only biggest secret tip that I would like to share personally from my point of view. Go through the bones always first. Okay, so make sure you complete the bones of upper limb. Now we will take the example of upper limb. What we are going to do is, first just let us imagine we all are students. Even I am the first year student. I am going to open my book and start studying and preparing for my career or for my exam. What would I do first? I would go through bones first. First of all, I would go through the clavicle, then humerus. Let me write one of the example here. For example, your clavicle. Okay. So I will go through the clavicle. What do you see in the clavicle? The clavicle's introduction, then side determination, then muscle attachments, and then the clinical anatomy and its diagram. Similarly, I will go for the humerus, radius, ulna, and carpal and metacarpal joints. You can check for bone osteology videos on my channel. Upper limb is already done. Lower limb is going on. We have completed femur already, and I have to make another lecture for the attachments of hip bone. So we would be completing hip bone and femur in lower limb, and upper limb all the bones are completed except for hand bones because of unavailability of hand bones in my house. So we are done with osteology. Now why did I say to study osteology first is because when you know which part of the bone is what, where is which groove and where is which tubercle, then when you talk about muscles or you talk about joints, it becomes very easy to find out. For example, insertion and origin of the muscle, right? So it becomes very, very, very easy to understand insertion and origin of the muscle. For example, the short head of biceps brachii originates from the coracoid process of the scapula along with the coracobrachialis muscle. How do I know that so well? Because I have studied the bone very well. I know the scapula bone by heart. Tips on my hands, have everything about it. That is why I still remember where it gets originated and where the muscle gets inserted. So we talked about muscles and bones. The very first funda that I would tell you is to follow up bones first, to learn and go thoroughly with the bone anatomy. Then we talked about muscle. See, after that you can follow up any sequence you want. That is not an issue. But the very first thing that you should do is bones. Always go through bones first. Okay, then we can go through muscles, then joints. When you talk about joints, you will automatically get to know the nerves related to joints. Then when you go through nerves, see, for example, radial nerve, medial nerve, or ulnar nerve, from where it moves to where it goes, etc., etc. When you know the bone, you would also be able to understand the passage of the nerves, the muscles supplied by the nerves. Then vessels like maxillary artery, and then you have many veins and arteries. Vessels consists of both arteries and veins, their passage, what it supplies, and all that. Okay, and then spaces like intramuscular spaces. We have 3 intramuscular spaces, right? Upper, lower, and quadrangular. Upper triangular, lower triangular, and quadrangular in the intermuscular spaces. Then we have plexus, the very famous plexus of upper limb, which is your brachial plexus, right? So brachial plexus. And the most important thing about anatomy for all the paramedics and medical students is your clinical anatomy. It is very, 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 very important to understand clinical anatomy of each and every structure you study. Why? See, I already told you first years are your basic years, right? When you go through first years, you are talking about normal things, normal structure, and normal anatomy of the human body. Then you learn about the clinical anatomy, like what can happen, what is the importance of what structure. For example, the importance of deltoid is intramuscular injection. Gluteus muscles also intramuscular injection. So when you read all those things, then when you go to second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and then you go for clinical practices, you would be literally studying deep about clinical anatomy. So it is very, very important to remember and to learn about the clinical anatomy. So these are the things that you would see in upper limb. Similarly, in the volume 1 book, you also have thorax. Okay, that is another part of the book, which is the thorax. In this you read about lungs, heart, pericardium, joints forming the thorax, etc. Okay, so these are the things that we study in thorax. So that is what you see in thorax. In thorax you would be talking about lungs. For example, if we talk about lungs, in lungs you would be studying about how many lungs are there, whether it is a paired organ or unpaired organ. So you know it is a paired organ. There are 2 lungs in human body. How many lungs? 2. How many lobes in each lung? Right lobe has this many lobes and left lobe has this many lobes. Then you would talk about the mediastinum. Then you would talk about the relations of lung, anterior relation and posterior relation. You would talk about the bronchopulmonary segments and all those things. This way you will study this. So again telling you the sequence, first go through the upper limb and go through the bones, then muscles, joints, nerves, vessels, spaces, plexus, and clinical anatomy. And also make sure to make diagrams, learn diagrams properly with proper colors. And then you have another thing, that is your thorax in the same book. So you will go through all these topics. There are many more topics. I just gave an example of these. So this is the sequence that I would suggest and recommend you to follow. So now we are done with the sequence, right? So we have got the sequence of learning. Now let us talk about bones and practicals and also theory. Studying is important, but what you are studying and for what you are studying and why you are studying is also important. You have theory exams and you have practical exams. In my college, I had 70 marks of theory plus 30 marks of practicals, and passing in each of the exam is very important. If I fail in this one, I have to write this exam again, and if I fail in any of these, I have to write both the exams again, right? So theory as well as practical is very important. So what you would do in practicals is you would be studying the muscles and insertions and origins. They will be teaching you about bones. How I take videos for bone anatomy, the similar way they would be teaching to you in your college. You would be doing dissections if you are a medical student, and you would be observing dissected body if you are a paramedical student. Paramedical students are not supposed to dissect, especially physiotherapy students or occupation therapy students, right? So you would be studying the muscles, you would be seeing real muscles, and you would be seeing to where it is inserted and from where it is originating, and the nerve supply and the blood supply. You would see everything in the real human cadaver. Okay, so that is about practicals. We can take separate video on practicals after we are done with the theory thing. Comment down in the comment section below if you want a video on how and what to study for practicals, then definitely you will get a video on that too. Now let us talk about bones. Many of you had doubts about where did I get my bones and how much did it cost me and whether it is real or fake. So let me answer those questions. I got my bone from my college. So I got my bones from my college. This is the one thing that I want to tell you. And how did I get it was, you can ask in your college whether there is availability of this type of system or not. I went and asked to my attendee, that is the person who makes availability of the cadaver and all and helps the anatomy professor. I just went there and asked my anatomy attendee about needing a set of bones, and he was like, we can get it available if you want to register for it. So what did I do is I gave my name, my phone number, and I paid 1,000 of advance, and I told him that I need a set of bones. So what is the set of bones that I got is, I got a skull and mandible, and then I got half of the bones. That is, I got either, for example, if I have humerus, I got left side of humerus, and if it is clavicle, I got left side of clavicle, and sometimes I got right and left. It was all mixed. It was not only of one same side, it was of different sides. So I got all the bones, one bone of our body, each bone. If it was a paired bone, I got each bone. Okay, so I got bones that way. I got my bones within 3 days. How much did I pay for it? I paid 4,000 for the bone, and I would say it is worth paying that much. And whether it is a real bone or fake bone, many of you had this question, whether it is a real or fake bone. Even I don't know the confirm answer, but I believe it is the real bone, because one of my bone is breaking, that is the humerus is breaking. The head of the humerus broke because it fell down somewhere at the sharp edge, and I can see the bone marrow inside. So I believe it is the real bone, but I'm not very sure. But whether it is real or fake, it has very proper landmarks on the bone, and it is worth this money. So if you can ask your college or your department whether they have this type of system, please do ask. Otherwise, go and ask your seniors or your fellow students whether they have a set of bone, and if they have, from where did they get it. Okay, also there is one more system which was not available in my college, that is issuing the bone. When you issue books from library, the same thing can happen for bones also. You can go to the anatomy department or your department and issue bones for a particular period of time. And another thing is, if you want to buy it online, I hope there will be bone sets on Amazon or Flipkart. I don't have any idea about it. So you can check out on Instagram or on any of the social platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, or Insta also. If maybe it is there, you can check it out. I don't have any idea about online shopping about bones. And they are also available in market, like in medical bookstore or medical bone stores. You have separate stores for that. Check out in your locality if you have some. So that is all about bones, and I've already said that we will make a separate video on practicals if you want one. And about theory, I already told you that in theory you have to study those things which we talked about in upper limb, right? I gave an example in upper limb talking about the bones, nerves, joints, muscles, etc. Many of you may be having a question. For example, triceps brachii is a 5-mark question for me. How do I write it? If you have any questions like this, please comment down in the comment section below. I would definitely make a video on that. And also one more thing that I want to remind you, if you are following up my channel, you may be knowing that we are going through the hip bone anatomy right now. I have uploaded 5 parts of hip bone, and the 6th part, that is the clinical anatomy and muscle attachment, would be uploaded soon. After that, we would be done with the hip bone, and then we would go for the tibia and fibula, and then we would be done with the bone anatomy, and then I would go for the structures of anatomy, that is the muscles, bones, joints, not the bones, the muscles, joints, the spaces, plexus and nerves, etc. Okay, when I teach them, for example, if I'm teaching muscle and if I'm teaching triceps brachii, I would definitely make sure to tell you how to write an answer, whether it is for 5 marks, 10 marks, or whatever sequence or style you have of question papers. Okay, so this is one thing. Now we are done with these things. Now we would go for other resources. Let me tell you the other resources that you can use. Before that, let me clear up this part. Now let us talk about the other resources that you may need or you should buy for your studying purpose. The other resources that I would say is, I already gave the name of the book, which is your it was not the book, it was the dictionary, which is the Dollond's dictionary. You can buy the Dollond's dictionary, very good one. Another thing that is very, very helpful and very, very good is you can buy flashcards. Okay, there are flashcards available on Amazon. I would upload the link to them in my description, so you can use flashcards. What exactly is flashcard is, you would have a card like this. Okay, just imagine this, like, just take it like the front of the card and the back of the card, right? In the front you would have diagram. For example, you would have the diagram of the clavicle bone. For example, see, you will have sets of cards. You will have a set of bones, flashcards for bones, flashcard for muscles, flashcards for nerve, for joints. You can buy whatever you want, or you can buy all the things together. So you would have diagram here, and when you will flip it to the back, you would have the description here about that bone. Description, for example, the site determination, how it looks, what are the ends, what are the muscle attachments. It is almost this much. The card size is this much, literally this much, or a little bigger than this or smaller than this. You can buy them. They are available on online store. They are also available on Insta. Some students make their personal flashcards and they sell it, so you can check on Insta IDs also. Okay, so this is about other resources, flashcards, dictionary, and I already told you about bones. You can add up bones into other resources, which is very helpful. Bones are very helpful for theoretical purposes as well as practical purposes. So we are done with other resources also. Now let me give you some of the extra tips that I followed and I recommend to all of you watching this video for anatomy. So let's talk about extra tips. Let me write it here. Extra tips. Please don't get irritated with my handwriting. I'm not yet good with whiteboard. This is the first time I'm writing on the whiteboard, so please bear with me. So extra tip is, the first thing that I would say you is, go through the book. Book is very, very important. Don't directly run after YouTube lectures. Even though I'm a teacher on YouTube, I'm always suggesting you to have the book beside you. If I'm teaching, okay, fine. If you are taking up my lectures for learning, fine, but have your book beside you. Books are very important. Nobody can compete with book. No teacher can teach you more than the book. Okay, the book is your greatest teacher. So have your books with you. Choose a book, whatever book you have, Grey's Anatomy or your T.S. Ranganathan or B.D. Chaurasia, whatever. Have the book with you whenever you are studying, whether you are studying from YouTube or Google or from anywhere. Okay, so one is, have your book read properly. Okay, this is one thing. Next thing that I would say you is, make your own notes. Make your own notes. By that I mean, by your own notes, I mean with your hands. That means, see, I have already told you that I have an Instagram page where I upload notes. I have a Tele page where I upload notes. What you can do is you can go through those notes, and then sometimes it is complicated. Even if I make the easiest notes according to me, but maybe according to you, they still may be tough for you. So read those notes. First, read the books, then go through the notes, whoever notes you are taking, whether mine or anybody else's. You read those notes, and if they are complicated to you, write them in your own language. So always try to write it with your own hands, because when you write with your own hands, with your own words, your brain registers it more well, and you have longer term memory, and you have it for your longer period of time. You will have the matter in your head for a longer period of time, and that is what we want as medicos, right? The another thing is practice diagrams. Anatomy is nothing without diagrams. Diagrams are very important. Teachers are not impressed by your stories, they are impressed by your diagrams, because when you can make the diagrams, that means you have learned well. So practice your diagrams always. Okay, make sure to always have your diagrams handy. You can also buy diagram books which are available online. They have only the diagrams in that. Same thing like flashcards. Okay, so practice diagrams, and then revision. Revision is very, very important. Okay, so by revision I mean, for example, you studied upper limb, and in upper limb you studied all the muscles. Okay, keep on studying, no problem. After 1 week, maybe on Sundays are our free days and Sundays are our good days. So on Sunday, you can do what? You can sit and revise everything that you studied for 1 week. Okay, so you should revise everything that you study for 1 day on Sundays. So keep revising. This is one thing that I would tell you. So these are some of the things that I would like to mention. Have your book always, notes, practice diagrams, and revision. Make your own notes. So these are some of the extra tips that I would like to recommend to each and every one of you. I hope I have cleared all your doubts. Okay, let me erase it later. So I hope I have cleared all your doubts about anatomy and about studying anatomy, sequence and process of learning, and having it in mind for longer period of time. I have also given some extra tips which may be useful to you, which definitely will be useful to you because they were very good to me. So I hope I have answered all your questions. But if I have still left some question, please comment down in the comment section below. I would definitely answer them also. Similarly, if you have other doubts or other queries or other suggestions for videos, let me know in the comment section below, and definitely we would be back to our whiteboard discussing all those questions also. So for today's video, we are done. Again, telling you, we talked about how to study anatomy, books to use, sequence of learning, bones and practicals and theory, and other resources, and then extra tips. I hope this was clear. If you want any other videos, let me know. And in the next up video, we would see about the muscle attachments of hip bone, which I have to complete. Okay, so then we would be completed with the hip bone. If any other doubts or any other comments or any other queries, please comment down in the comment section below. Give this video a like, share, and if you're new, subscribe. And thanks for supporting. Until the next video, stay safe, stay home.